have a burger, I have some fruit that I should have thrown out by now, and some vegetables that I should have thrown out by now.
You know what? That's all good with me. I do just have to frisk you. For
Okay.
weapons only. Here we are. I'm not feeling... Yep, no, you're good. This way.
All right.
What was the origination of the 911?
All right. So we're over in the interrogation room.
Okie dokie.
Not this one, but this one.
Uh-oh. Interrogation 2.
Yep. Your client actually chose this one.
Oh, okay.
They're provided the option. Originally it was left to right, and they wanted to see which one was cleaner. We ended up here.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, as far as I'm aware, this individual is Lucas Spade. The long story short here, I don't have the charges written up quite yet, because there's sort of been a lot of movement. But long story short, I'm traveling along El Rancho Boulevard as it's approaching Mirror Park. My radar automatically runs a plate of a vehicle that sped past in the opposite direction. Indicated that the vehicle had been reported stolen by its owner. So I flip a Yui and pull it over. It was a black and color Sultan. I speak with the driver of the vehicle, who does not identify himself, is failing to provide identification. I make it clear I will inform them, exactly what's going on as soon as I can see their ID. To which they said, yeah, my ID's in the glove box. So they got back in and then fled recklessly. Speeds 130 plus miles an hour throughout the city. Eventually, their vehicle ended up getting boxed near Senior Buns. They then exited the vehicle. The passenger at this time, now to be clear, the passenger, the Black Sultan in question, is not your client here. They weren't in that vehicle at all. There was a driver in that Sultan and a passenger. The passenger was on the phone, was the only person on the phone as far as I could see. And then a tailgater pulled up. Now, this tailgater is important because this is the vehicle that your client was in. Before either of the individuals were ever out of the Sultan while it was boxed, I got on my megaphone and I said, tailgater, keep it moving. To which they very clearly declined because they made no effort to move. Not until the suspect from the Black Sultan got picked up. Can you believe that? So I then asked, I read your client his rights, and I asked, well, what was going on? And he said, my instincts kicked in. I ran. Which I think is crazy, because eventually he also swapped seats with the person who was fleeing in that original car. Anywho, within the trunk of chase happened, reckless driving, or reckless evading in this case, driving in opposing lanes, speeds, I believe I clocked at 138 throughout the pursuit. Vehicle eventually flipped over by the winery on Buenvino Road. Within that vehicle was a hunting rifle that I don't believe came back registered to Mr. Spade. However, it seems a point of contention here is I was asking Mr. Spade, who was you on the phone with? To which he pretty much said I wasn't on the phone with anybody. But then he was like, oh, I'm a phone guy. I'm a phone guy. And I was like, well, listen, I'm willing to work with you, right? If you just show me the last hour of your phone, phone calls, alongside text messages, right? Look, I don't feel that an hour of those things are that bad in the grand scheme of things. Ultimately, I'm just trying to ensure that the passenger who tried playing innocent from that Black Sultan, who was very clearly on the phone throughout the entirety of the situation, was not the person in contact with Mr. Spade here.
Sounds reasonable, but
now
not probable.
compliance goes a long way. Uh-huh. Now here's the thing. If I Yeah, if I have to I have to get a subpoena for records, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. Mr. Spade's phone here is evidence.
Okay. Did you happen to see Mr. Spade on the phone at the exact same time that your other suspect was on the phone?
Negative. It was just this started close to Mirror Park, ended by Senior Buns. That's when the tailgater showed up, which was driven by your client. And the passenger in the Sultan, which is the original stolen car, was on the phone, leaving me no other thing to believe outside of this was coordinated.
But you still didn't see them both on the phone at the exact same time, meaning that you have no actual corroboration between my client and your other suspect talking to each other in the commission of said crime.
What if I said while your client's phone, it's been taken as evidence for the time being.
Sorry.
What would your stance be if I told you that his phone rang? What was that?
Let me pop my SIM card out. Sorry.
No, you're good.
So that we don't get interrupted in the future.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
So what would you say if I had, a total hypothetical here? What would you say if while your client's phone was in my custody, the phone rang, and the number coincidentally matched the passenger's number of the Sultan?
And it coincidentally matched if you don't know who the passenger was.
Oh, no. We had the passenger. We at that point released them because we have 30 days to conduct an investigation and push charges.
Okay.
So we got their contact information, figured out exactly who it was. They were properly identified on scene.
Okay.
That person is a Michael Black.
Okay.
Phone number ending in 3997. And again, total hypothetical here. But if your client's phone rang in my hand and I saw 3997, how would you feel about that?
I'd ask you to leave the room for a second so I could speak with my client.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. You take your time. You let me know when you're ready, okay?
Sure.
If this works.
How was that?
Oh, it worked out perfectly because he's now going to tell his lawyer, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And I just said this was all a hypothetical because his phone ain't rung at all.
I put in the report that if somebody comes in and requests that rifle back, you should be given it, but at the same time, he should be let known that he shouldn't be storing his rifle in the back of his car.
I agree.
Well, I'll add the vehicle to the report as well, because that this way, if he asks, somebody can look for it.
Yep, makes sense. Let's see. Did the rifle come back to Ben?
Yes.
Perfect.
Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
Vehicle's been added to it. Oh, good.
Thank you. Damn, I'm still just like...
Theoretically, Mr. Spade does not have a hunting license, correct?
Correct.
He was in possession of the vehicle, thus in possession of the rifle.
That is correct.
We could theoretically charge him with possession of a Class 1 firearm.
I don't think we're supposed to be charging people for the hunting rifle.
Oh, yes, they are being charged. It's part of it. If you look at Class 1, is basically
Yeah, but
being in possession
nobody's
of
had a
weapon
weapons
does not
license.
There are people
And
that have weapons
hunting.
licenses. But yeah,
Huh?
yeah. But if you don't have a hunting license, you get charged for it.
Oh, a hunting okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, he doesn't have a hunting license, but he's in possession of a hunting rifle.
Yeah, you're right.
You can use that as leverage against him, by the way.
Let's see.
Yeah, Lucas Spade does not have a hunting license.
What if I just start very high for charges? Going, you know, he was throwing shit at his car to get it to flip over.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So what if I get him with evidence tamper?
He was throwing shit at his car.
Yeah,
What
he
did
was. He was.
throw?
I don't even know, but he threw something at his car to try to get it to flip.
This-
Also,
Are you
he-
telling me this guy was throwing stuff at his car to get it to flip over?
yes, that is exactly what
While
I'm
the other
saying.
guy was trying to flip it over too. But we were there. Like, how does?
No,
how
no,
did
no.
they
While
imagine
you
that was
started
gonna happen?
chasing the other guy,
Okay.
this guy took something out of his pocket, chucked it at the car, obviously hoping it would flip. It didn't. And then he was also trying to.
Does
He was
he
like-
thinks he's on the moon or something? There's like no goddamn gravity or something.
I don't
here? Or,
know.
like, laws,
I don't
laws
know.
of physics do not apply to his vehicle.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. He's called me back in. I didn't realize.
Okay.
Apologies.
That's fine. So
So-
what charges is my client actually facing?
Hmm. Just a moment. Doop, doo, doop, doo, doo. Decisions, decisions.
And something else I'm a little bit curious about is why was my client's phone seized again?
As part of investigation.
Okay, and you believe that to be evidence of a crime?
Uh-huh. Conspiracy specifically. I believe your client conspired to commit a crime with the passenger of the other vehicle to coordinate the pickup of somebody fleeing from police.
So you want to subpoena the phone records because you believe it was used in the instance of that crime?
Correct.
That's an electronic subpoena. It has nothing to do with physical possession of the device. You should never have seen that phone call. Return the phone. Fruit of the poisonous tree. Back off.
It's not fruit of the poisonous tree.
You should have never have had the phone in your possession. It should never have been seized. It's an electronic subpoena. It
Yep.
has nothing to do with the physical phone.
You're right. But what if, hypothetical here, right? Because I see where you're coming from, but here's a hypothetical. Just like hypothetical that we just spoke about earlier. Your client claims, I never saw that text message. I never saw the phone call. The phone call, maybe not so much, right? But the important bit is, again, let's say an unread text message versus a read text message.
Everything that has happened to that phone since
Mhm.
you have taken it is fruit of the poisonous tree. You should never have had it physically. It is an electronic subpoena. You never have the right to have physical access to that device.
Again, this is all part of an investigation.
Yeah, an investigation where you have the investigative tool called a subpoena of his phone records, which is an electronic subpoena, not a physical subpoena.
So let's change things up a bit. I shouldn't, let's say, how should I word this? Trying to figure out sort of an apples to apples comparison here. No. No. I'm still content with having it seized. I'm most certainly content. Because again, I believe it to have been used in the commission of a crime.
Is there a judge available?
There might be.
Could you ask for one?
I could.
Thank you.
Oh wait.
Please leave the room.
Wait. You want me to reach out to a judge?
Reach out to a judge. Please leave the
Okay.
room.
All right.
I'm not playing your games, officer.
This is not a game.
Apparently to you it is.
Most certainly is not. Okay, make sure it's not in there. Let's see. Judge assistant. Let's see if a judge is around.
Abilene.
Hello. This is Officer Rhodes, Los Santos Police Department. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you, officer?
I'm good. I did see in your ad that you are a judge's assistant. Would you happen to know if there's any judges around?
I frequently check the yellow pages to see if they're around. I haven't seen any. I've been at City Hall a couple. Oh, Dingle fan. He's claims to be a judge, and he's around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see if I can give him a call. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Also, if I could just I was called to MRPD for a rep. I'm at the rear entrance. I don't know if someone's available to let me in.
I will approach the officers who should be the ones. Give me a second. Hey, did y'all request for an attorney?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's trying to get
I
one.
think he's trying to
Okay,
get one.
they're at the rear entrance,
I'll get 'em.
waiting, I believe.
I think we got one waiting in the rear.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All
Thank
right,
you, officer.
they will be there shortly.
Hey,
All right, have a good one.
you too.
See here. Chat, we need case laws to whether or not what Rhodes is doing right now is okay. We're also trying to get the Meg Kyra cruise ship back. Where asking if an attorney is available is not asking for an attorney. Judge. There any judges available? Let's see. I don't want to fuck up his name.
Say again?
Actual contralto? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
There we
a
go.
I'm a Cavalier baritone, so
Oh,
you speak my
okay.
language. All right, so we'll just be.
Yes! Angel is available. Oh, this is so good.
I see the odd, okay? I see the odd.
He says what I'm thinking.
You guys want to wait by the back door?
No, we don't want to wait by the back door. Damn.
Hmm.
Why is yours always
Nicole.
open?
Yeah, it's right next to the.
I don't know. I let anybody in the back door.
Oh, you guys into that shit, huh?
You guys. I was explaining why I call it the side door. Don't
She
you
taught-
guys me.
She taught me about the
Uh.
back door, actually.
Yeah, what the? I mean, I did tell him about the back door, but I was just explaining.
Yeah, I'm a police officer. I'm trustworthy.
Hey, this is Rhodes. I have a follow-up question, so let me know when I can come in.
Officer, okay? I'm not gonna scam you.
Hey, Haley, did you take the survey?
I'm gonna give you your money back.
Taking the VR chat survey.
What? No, I'm not. I don't do VR chat.
Have you ever been in there?
No, I
Sherry's always
haven't,
trying to
but
fuck
I've heard some
something.
Weird.
At least this time it's just a tree.
That's all I
What do
know.
you mean?
There's
Alright,
3 judges
see you
have
later.
responded.
172 yeses. 64 no's.
Is that like the Tinder of VR chat or something? Like, I don't.
He
So the preliminary.
he goes, "That's fruit of the poisonous tree. Everything you're requesting is electronic. You don't need to take his phone."
Hey, who said that?
The attorney, and then he requested a judge, but he didn't say if it was for a bench trial.
Wait.
So now the judges are coming at me sideways, like, if he's requesting one, what is it for if it's not for a bench trial? He thinks that I actually saw a number on his phone. I ain't seen shit. I had you call me
Yeah.
and then pretended that I saw a number that McMahon got from the person earlier.
You just bamboozled the guy and the lawyer.
Okay,
You can see
so-
somebody's stuff. To be honest, if it was using commission of a crime, if he used that to talk to his friend and help him escape, then yeah, it's been used in a commission of crime. So you can seize that shit. Obviously, you can give his thing back, but you could literally, if you get a warrant, you could literally look at his phone.
You're right.
No need for them to like extract it from the phone company. You could just look at his phone.
Well, listen, I'm pushing for case law, okay?
Yep. Have you ever given or received a lap dance?
Firearm, all that fun stuff.
All
Hey,
right, hello.
hi.
So I did
again,
reach out to judges.
Okay.
They did ask, what is the reason for the request? Because they specifically would like to know. Is it for a bench trial?
We need to know the charges first and foremost.
Okay.
And the other is essentially the unlawful seizure of evidence. It's not evidence to any crime that you have put forth. You haven't even read the charges.
Well,
So if the phone
that got
goes back,
interrupted.
Yeah, the phone goes back. Yeah, you keep trying to pose hypotheticals to me rather than talking about the actual situation at hand that occurred. So let's get down to the brass tacks here. You return the phone to my client. We talk
No.
about the charges that are at hand.
Mm-mm,
we
not
move on.
happening.
See,
You don't get to
there we
point your
go.
finger and tell me what to do. That's not how this works.
When you are violating the law, it sure is.
Which law did I
You have-
violate? Point it out.
Unreasonable search and seizures. It's part of the human privileges.
So
It is
you
unreasonable-
expect me to believe it's reasonable that your client just stumbled upon individuals who he was so willing to help recklessly
I'm not
evade
interested
from
in
the
this
police?
Conversation. Charges, please. Charges, or let him go. Charges, or you let him walk. Is he under arrest? Let's go to the due process part here. I'm gonna pin you to the wall when it comes to the due process. Present the charges or let him walk.
Tell you what, as it currently stands, we are looking at reckless evading, felony obstruction of justice, resisting arrest, joyriding, and I'm going to continue my investigation.
What is the felony obstruction of justice charge?
Picking
Where's
up
that
an
coming from?
individual intentionally. Well, the individual ended up getting away, unfortunately. It was the person we were originally chasing. Driver of that Black Sultan. Yeah, he jumped into the tailgater driven by Mr. Spade here.
Okay. Mr. Spade, do you have any particular contest to those charges at hand?
No.
Okay. So it sounds like you give him his phone back.
No.
Give him his possession.
Mm-mm.
Okay, then yeah, we're going to a bench trial.
What part of I'm still conducting my investigation did you not get?
What part of electronic subpoena do you not understand? There's no physical requirement to have that phone. You have the means to request it electronically. No physical presence. You have no physical right to
Ooh.
that phone. You
Ooh.
return it.
Ooh. You see, that's where you're wrong. Under normal circumstances, again, I would agree.
See, this is where we've reached our impasse. Get me a judge. Give me a judge. Get out of the room. Get me a judge.
Okay, but what is the judge for?
A bench trial. I just said that.
Okay, but now we're sort of back at square one where I need to be able to finish my investigation before a bench trial can be had.
Okay, then you return all assets to the client.
No.
You let him walk, and then you conduct your investigation. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You return everything. You continue your investigation.
So
And
you're
then you press
telling
charges
me
whenever
in the
you're
event where
comfortable.
somebody were murdered by a let's say they got stabbed
I don't care about
continuously.
Your mother. I don't care about your hypotheticals. I don't care about it.
Well,
We're talking about the situation at hand. I don't care about your examples. I don't care about your hypotheticals.
Ooh.
You press charges here and now, or you let him walk. If you are not pressing charges, he walks. If you are pressing charges, we go to bench trial because you are unlawfully seizing evidence. Get me a judge or let him walk. Those are your two options.
what's unlawful?
Seizing the phone. You have no right to that phone. Subpoenas for a phone are electronic. No physical access required.
So
you have no right to
it's not
physical access
required,
of that
therefore
phone.
I don't know about that one. There's information that would not be part of a subpoena that would be relevant to the situation at hand.
That's fine. Give me a judge.
Is it for a bench trial that we can't necessarily have until the conclusion?
It a third time? Are you? Is this for a third
Well,
time? If your investigation is not complete, then you are
Uh-huh.
not pressing charges. You give him back everything. He walks. That's it. Unless you have something that is known to be illegal to possess, such as, I don't know, a distillery for moonshine, such as weed, such as anything else that is actually unlawful to possess. A phone is not unlawful to possess.
Unless it was utilized.
Which it seems that you're still investigating. Which your next step is an electronic subpoena, no physical access required. Return the phone or get a
See,
judge.
again, we're back at square one.
We are back at square one because we fundamentally disagree on this point. Get me a judge and get out of the room.
So what am I telling the judges again? Is it for a bench
going
trial
to
or is it?
We're going to you. Okay, you have two options to tell the judge, and I will leave them up to you because it seems that you're at an impasse. You're undecided.
Okay.
You don't know what charges you're going to press because you are currently in an investigation. You are unlawfully detaining somebody during an investigation.
Well, I don't know about that one.
We're going to a bench trial. You press the charges, we go to bench trial. You don't press charges, you give him his stuff back, he walks. Those are your options. That is how the law works.
Decisions.
I'm surprised you have stripes.
Ew. Not an attitude like that.
I mean, just the absolute ineptitude that I'm seeing here and now. It is confusing and confounding to me. I will certainly have comments for the head of the bar and the PD liaison about it.
You know what? That is perfectly fine. That is A-okay. That is A-okay. Tell you what, I'll be with you shortly.
Sure.
I'll be with you shortly.
Not gonna be strong arm.
I understand. But do you understand this is not felony obstruction of justice?
We could go to bench if you want to.
All right, I want to confer with the client. Thank you for your time.
All right.
It's obvious.
No, I started this survey because I didn't believe that this existed. All of this.
Oh.
I bought it for Beat Saber.
I'm communicating with judges.
So good. Oh, so you do have a headset. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
But I've never done that. I don't even know how to get into that stuff. I just Beat Saber, like a work team.
Come down, Mr. Rowan. Get your ass on duty.
I'm here a lot, okay? I don't have time for all that stuff.
Yeah, Blaine.
The client will be requesting a bench trial.
Hello,
Okay.
Judge Angel.
Hi.
See.
You all?
Good
How
to
you
see
guys doing?
you.
Oh gosh, the judge. Hello.
Howdy. Oh, aloha. Konnichiwa.
How's it going?
Going pretty good.
So, wait,
How
are
you
you
doing?
here for me or someone else?
For you.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
Then I
Never-
I
never
will
mind.
need you over here.
Okay, I'm sure there's other judges that can help you guys if you need them.
I get it, but
Okay, so the request is for a bench trial if I'm pushing charges. If I'm
Okay.
not pushing charges, it is to, I guess, question the legality of something or
Okay.
something to that extent. Long. Actually, I don't know if I should give you information
Well,
before.
it really depends. Is this information directly relating to the case that you're going to be pushing?
I can make it vague.
Yeah, that works to me. Yeah, as long as it's like a vague description of a.
Uh,
Okay with it.
I'm looking at a conspiracy charge, right?
Okay.
Obviously, that involves communication. Phones are communication devices.
That's true.
They take issue with the seizure of a phone pending a warrant and/or subpoena, claiming the subpoena would be delivered electronically. To which my argument be, okay, but what if I want more? What if I want, like, you know, what they got in the contact list for said person? Are they there? I wouldn't be able to know that based on a subpoena. I would only know that with the actual phone, if obviously the subpoena was approved and or warrant or whatever.
Okay. So, the way that I've always seen this is if you have the police officers can seize things for investigation, obviously, as you're aware. And we don't want people to abuse that by seizing things for no particular reason. But if
Mm-hmm.
you can articulate exactly why you're doing, are you taking a physical item such as their phone pending a subpoena? If you can articulate that, and it makes sense, then you can usually do it. So, I wouldn't see an issue with that.
Okay. I'm inclined to believe their next argument would be, well, if he's not under arrest, then none of that would be subject to be seized or something.
That's possible. Depends on the circumstances. I mean, it really depends. You know, if you're seeking to push charges on someone, and
I mean, all
you
this is over a
happen to do
conspiracy
it-
charge.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you need to obtain evidence to make your charges happen, and you're not pushing the charges immediately, then I guess it depends on how you got it, right? So.
Oh, no, they very much so blatantly committed a crime and then got arrested as a result. And I'm looking into this additional charge as how it all happened.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, if it came about in that way, I don't really see an issue. So.
I'm trying to decide how I want to go about doing this. How about I just say you're here, we all walk in, I read out the list of charges, let him know that a guilty plea for the conspiracy here would mean that I would no longer have to look into anything and therefore could return the phone, no issue. Wouldn't even have to file a subpoena.
You could do that. Alternatively, if you don't want to go down that route, you could just write up a subpoena, go through his phone, and then push the charges after the fact.
Follow up. Does the Department of Justice have the means to electronically produce phone subpoenas?
We do, but they're very difficult to make happen.
Oh.
So they're kind of difficult. Like, they don't happen immediately. So if you have it in your possession, it makes it a lot more easily to produce a subpoena.
Got it. Okay. All right. Let's head back in there.
More of an amazed kind of way,
Keep in
huh?
mind, if you guys talk too much about the actual details of the case, then I'll have to back out.
All right.
If you
Well,
do a bunch
I gotta
of trials,
go.
Okay, all
If
right.
you want to get on duty, you can get on duty.
All right. There is a judge here, by the way.
Your Honor.
Hello. Good morning. What was that?
About a deep bow of disrespect. A deep bow of
Disrespect.
respect.
Okay.
Respect.
Oh.
It's a deep bow of respect. I have been taught that it is a sign of respect in a lot of cultures, mostly Asian. Mr.
Right,
Rhodes,
okay.
so what charge is the phone being seized against?
Conspiracy.
Okay, he pleads guilty to it. Give it back.
Oh my god, that was so much easier. Well, we do have to talk about the situation as a whole.
Okay.
Here we are. So for the current list of charges, he is looking at reckless evading, felony obstruction of justice, resisting arrest, conspiracy, and accessory to joyriding. Prior to any reductions, he's looking at 60 months, a $2,880 fine, and 3 points on his license. If he is willing to plead guilty, I am willing to take a decent chunk of time off. Fine, unfortunately, is not negotiable.
What kind of time are we talking about?
I mean, he's originally looking at 60. We've been here for some time. What would y'all find reasonable? How about that?
How long have you been here, Mr. Spade?
I don't know. It's been a hot minute.
A hot
Maybe
minute. I'm trying to find a way to interpret a hot minute.
Like
in
30,
exchange
40 minutes. So.
Okay, then bleed it down to 25.
My counter to that will be 30. I think 50% off the original is pretty fair in the grand scheme of things.
I leave that to you, Mr. Spade. I think that it's a pretty
fine.
darn good deal. Okay,
That's
there
fine.
you have it.
All right, perfect. Look at that. Now we do need to do a few things. I do need to place your phone with the remainder of your possessions to ensure that you get it back properly. So we're going to have to go back out there, check everything out to you. I'm going to place the phone back on your person. And at that point, I'm going to hand them back to DOC. Okay? You know what? Because that'll add some additional time, we'll just drop it down to 25. I'll call it even at 25.
I appreciate that.
All right. So just to verify, just to make sure we're on the same page. Guilty to reckless evading, felony obstruction of justice, resisting arrest, conspiracy, and accessory to joyriding. All right.
Okay. Would you mind letting me out? I'm going to be taking the bench trial for the situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go ahead. Here we are.
If you guys are involved with this bench trial, I guess I'll be taking it. So
here we are. All right. So, Mr. Spade, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get you uncuffed from the table here. There we go. I'm gonna get you placed in these cuffs, but I'm not gonna shackle you. I am gonna need you to follow me over to the table, so that we can make sure that you do properly get your phone back.
Okay.
And no, it had nothing to do with the judge. It had everything to do with structuring it. This is a two-part thing. I'll explain. Right over this way.
Opportunity to like get in a suit or anything?
There we are.
Probably not.
Okay.
Is that a lawyer?
I am a lawyer.
Are you Albert?
Should we talk to the clerk?
I am not.
Yes. I'm not
Albert.
taking you out of cuffs. I'm just reorganizing everything here. Let me know once you feel that your pockets are
The
full.
clerk doesn't want to give it to me.
Just step a little closer.
I mean, they're telling me they're giving it to me. They're not giving it to me.
How busy are you right now?
Incredibly.
Okay, never mind. No worries.
Just a moment. Just gonna search you here. Okay. No, everything's on your person.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
That's strange.
There we are. And I'm going to go ahead and check everything back in with DOC.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to search you once more. We're good there. All right, and then back over to the cell. And then we can get everything sorted.
All right.
All right over here. All right, coming through with the 95. Be mindful with what you're talking about.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot.
All right, right through here.
Good shit.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and get your recuff to the table here. All right, perfect. All right. So, I do have to get you fined in the amount of $2,880 for the 5 charges.
Okay.
There we are. And let me check if you have a mugshot.
I do not.
All right, if that's the case, we're gonna have to get that sorted as well. But
Okay.
beyond that, it's pretty much just gonna be mugshot. Make sure everything's put in the system correctly, and then getting you sent off to prison.
All right.
Considering you're going to end up in the mugshot room, more so as a formality, I'm content with sending you from there once I get your mugshot. So I'll ask you now. Do you have any comments, questions, or concerns?
No, I'm all good.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Give me just a moment here. Make sure my camera has battery. We're good. All right. Let me get you uncuffed from the table one more time. There we go. And right through here. All right. You can come with if you'd like.
Sure.
Mr. Spade, how tall are you?
I don't remember. I think I'm 5'10".
5'10"? Okay. All right.
I think. Do you have a measuring stick?
There's actually
I believe there's one in here, isn't there?
Yep, there is.
Oh, perfect.
I'll just go ahead
I
and
think
make
the
sure this
wall-mounted
is
one.
locked.
How
Perfect.
tall am I?
I would say you're pretty.
5'10's about right.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. All right. Just do me a favor. Don't move. All right. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Perfect. Okay. And then last bit, if you wouldn't mind coming right over here.
I should probably step away for this one, right? Otherwise, you might accidentally tag me.
Well, nah, it should be fine. I am just going to fingerprint you. Now, just to clarify, because there's been a lot of confusion recently, I'm fingerprinting you for the sole purpose of 100% ensuring your identity. This has nothing to do with DNA. A lot of people confuse the two and assume that if they're getting fingerprinted, their DNA is put on file. The answer to that is no. Everybody's fingerprints who has, a driver's license is on file. However, that's got nothing to do with like if your DNA or blood or something was left on scene. Again, sole purpose of identifying you. Okay.
Okay.
So
if your DNA ever were to be collected, it will be openly declared that your DNA is being collected, and it will be a oral swab, nothing else.
that is correct.
Right.
But a lot of, like I said, a lot of people sort of confuse. I don't know if they've watched CSI and they talk about fingerprints and DNA on a doorknob and this and that. No, that's not what we're doing here. We don't identify people for the purpose of just identifying with DNA. We do so with fingerprinting. All right, here we are. So again, at the bottom of the display, there's a little ring. I know your hands are behind your back at the moment, so I'm gonna go ahead and lead your index finger right there. You wouldn't mind just keeping it still.
Yeah, I got you. It's kind of hard to keep it
Hold it.
still.
Yeah,
like
I
this,
know,
but I'll
I
try
know.
my
Here,
best.
let me adjust the phone here a bit.
Okay,
There we go.
That's better.
Perfect. All right, hold it still, and we're good. Perfect. All right. So we're good on that front. I'm content with getting you sent out for the 25 months.
Okay.
Do you have any comments, questions, or concerns?
No, I'm good.
Perfect. Here we are. And last but not least, there we go. All right. just to make sure that there are no issues, because I know we ran into some a little while ago. We'll have DOC uncuff you. Do you want to have any last words with your attorney, or?
Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it. I'm all
All right.
good.
All right. You have a good one, Mr. Spade. Stay
You
safe,
guys
okay?
too. I will. I'm gonna rethink my life choices.
That's good to hear. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye. DOC from PD. Be advised you have one Lucas Spade being sent up for 25 months. All right.
I did kind of want that one to go to contest, though.
What
I do
for?
firmly believe that if you don't have a signed warrant, nor do you have exigent circumstances, you have no right to any physical asset on that person. Otherwise, basically, unless you have some sort of exigent circumstance to seize it, or it is an innately illegal object to possess, I don't think that you have any right to it. I think that the warrant or the subpoena needs to be signed before you even get physical access to it, and even more so, from investigations I've been involved with in the past, those all of those phone record subpoenas were delivered electronically. That's all I've ever seen. So I am led to believe that that is the case for investigating phones.
When
Even if
was
you
the
want a
last time you saw a subpoena?
2 weeks, maybe 3.
So I did ask. I did ask the
long period of
judge.
time in the grand scheme of things.
She did inform me that while they can, it is not necessarily an easy or timely process at the moment. Now, obviously,
Gotcha.
that's
So not the preferred methodology.
correct. And she even did state that because I had a very brief conversation, sort of explaining what was going on. She did state that obviously the sort of more ideal route would be with a physical phone, because that would be readily available. Now, how a judge would do that would be sort of out of my control. Does that mean I could turn the phone over to the judge and the judge would manually pick out everything over the past hour, or whatever recent time frame? If we're talking something that happened very recently, possibly. But in saying that, it would include having the physical phone, right?
Yeah. But I still hold firm to the belief that you don't have any right to the physical device unless it's innately illegal to own, or you have a warrant to seize it.
So would you say it would be illegal for me to seize a lockpick after somebody tampered with the vehicle?
It was used in the commission of a crime, therefore it becomes illegal. But there's no contest as to whether or not an investigation is still ongoing. You saw that the vehicle was tampered. You saw that he had a lockpick. 2 and 2.
I saw your client on scene of a situation in which they picked somebody up and fled from the police, and the passenger was on the phone communicating their location.
Yet you labeled it.
That's 2 and 2.
Yet you labeled it an active investigation. It is no longer 2 and 2 by your own admission.
No, because an active investigation to me just implies that literally up until the person is actually sent off to prison, there is always room to continue looking down the path of anything, really. 1 second.
So, okay, go ahead.
Okay, perfect.
Here's what I would countermand to you. An active investigation means that you have a person of interest and reasonable suspicion, and you are gathering evidence in order to reach that probable cause status. Once you are at that probable cause status, you press charges. Once you press charges, the person either pleads guilty or not guilty and gets sent up. If they plead guilty, investigation concludes. There's nothing forward that needs to be done. If he pleads not guilty, make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's and get that subpoena so that you can add it to the record later, just in case you need that for the appeal. That way, you're not holding somebody's potentially livelihood over their head by trying to seize their phone physically while waiting for some sort of investigative process to happen. There is a level of objective reasonableness here when it comes to the preservation of life, the preservation of rights, and the protection of property when it comes to the whole court system's purpose in enabling others people's rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. you are depriving that person unreasonably of the happiness and enjoyment of their phone over an investigation that is not yet concluded. You have means and methods to say, hey, I think I need this phone in order to press these charges. So he pleads not guilty. You give him the phone back. You file the subpoena, and you demand manifestation of that phone. You demand presentation of that phone. The phone gets presented after the subpoena is signed. But if you don't have a judge corroborating your assumption of probable cause up to that point, and it is not innately illegal to own, you have no right to it. That is my stance.
You know, I think we're just going to have to agree to disagree.
I think so. But I do enjoy the conversation.
I really wanted it to go to bench. I'm not going to lie.
Same.
I'm not being okay, maybe I am being a little facetious. There are a few things that I've been known to be pedantic, if you will. And
I've been called that many a time. I feel like if you and I did not meet under adversarial circumstances, that we would be fast friends. And I believe the potential still exists there to be so.
I mean, definitely, but I'm just saying there are a lot of unknowns that weren't unknowns in the past. You know, there may have been case law many moons ago regarding. Oh my gosh! Have you ever heard of the People versus Meg Kyra Cruz?
No, I can't say I have. I wasn't here 5 or 6 years ago. I only came to the island maybe 2 months ago.
It was precedent set on the basis of an investigation that I was conducting while I was interrogating a suspect who was very much caught red-handed. And she asked, is an attorney available? To which I pulled out my phone. I looked at the lemon list. I scrolled down. I saw that an attorney was available. And I said, yes, there is one available. And continued on with our conversation.
But she did not explicitly say, I want my attorney. I want an attorney present.
That is correct.
I mean, technically true.
Uh-huh. Do you want to know? You want to know what the precedent set was?
Now I'm curious. I'm on the hook.
Asking if an attorney is available is the equivalent to requesting an attorney. The judge, the judge understood exactly what I did, and didn't want there to be any confusion or anything to that extent. But I made it clear. I made it clear. Again, it's not like I got in trouble or anything. I made it very clear. She did not request an attorney. She requested the status, availability of one, but not an attorney.
So at that point, you are being a little bit semantical versus the letter and spirit of the law there, where the whole Miranda v. Arizona thing is you're supposed to tell somebody about their Sixth Amendment right to representation. Well, I mean, I
which
guess
had been done earlier.
Yeah. So you'd already told them that they have the right to representation. So if they are asking about an attorney, it is obvious that they are looking to invoke that right. That is the spirit of the law. They asked about an attorney. They want an attorney. You should give them an attorney. Versus the letter, which is their specific statement asking about the status of an attorney. Did you follow the letter of the law? Sure. Can you be proud of it? No, I don't think so. You violated its spirit. You deprived that person of rights they were seeking to invoke, and regardless of, they may not have been educated within the specific grammatical context therein of how to properly request that attorney from you. You cannot assume that everybody has a college education when it comes to the implications of English. So violating the spirit of the law in that manner is something that I would shame you for.
I did find something out afterwards. Only after, though. I think I only found out in the court case. She couldn't read. Not that that changed anything, but yeah, I did just remember that.
Again, you can't assume somebody's level of education. They should be aware of the laws in the state that they are governed by, and that's basically what that's kind of the baseline of what's expected of them. That's about it. They need to understand the penal code. If they're looking to invoke legislation of some kind to their own benefit, then they can do case by case material study on that point. Or if they don't know how to do any of that, maybe they go to an attorney. Or, you know, hitting somebody for a grammatical error. I think
that wasn't a grammatical error. Listen, you know, when I'm going through the list of what I want for dinner, sometimes I go, is Senior Buns open? Is Lucky Plucker open? You know, it doesn't necessarily mean I want. I'm just considering my options.
You violated the spirit of the law, and I'm pretty sure you know it. I can't imagine that you're unintelligent enough to think that you did not violate the spirit of the law therein.
What? No.
Precisely.
Mm-mm.
Precisely.
No.
Your inflection says everything to me. I don't think you're unintelligent. I think quite the opposite. I think very highly of you after having our conversations. Regardless of the fact that we disagree, I see the merit in your arguments, which is why I wished to see them mediated in a court of law. But that doesn't mean that I agree with you, your implements, or your practices. I think that there is a spirit of the law here, and you are an atheist.
I'm an atheist. I mean, you might be right. You might be right. Damn, I ain't never been called an atheist before.
When it comes to the spirit of the law, I firmly believe it. And this is somebody who is a former felon who was charged by the letter of the law. Did I mean to actually commit a felonious act? Absolutely not. It was a complete and total accident. But did I commit a felony? Did I accidentally injure somebody? Yes. And therefore, I was formerly a convicted felon. I had to be expunged. I never meant to hurt anybody. I never meant to break any laws. I felt that
I thought you were about to say I never meant to make you cry. Oh my gosh. It was going down. Never mind. Continue.
I never did mean to make you cry, Rhodes.
Damn, are you cleaning out your closet?
I did what I had to do in there. I did what I had to do. I meant every word, but I was forced to say it.
Are you under duress?
I'm very well dressed.
No, under duress.
I prefer honey mustard usually.
No, under duress. You know what I'm saying.
I'm not wearing a dress. I'm in a suit.
Oh my God. You're not listening. Open your ears.
Oh, no, I'm just violating the spirit of the words that you're stating.
You're an atheist.
I love you too.
I'm married.
I know. Actually, I didn't.
I'm happily married. Well,
I was just trying to be quippy. I actually don't know if who or what you may or may not be married to.
Richard Dark.
Oh. He helped me save somebody's life when they had accidentally ran into my truck while I was doing grime. I called 911 and he was the dispatcher on the phone. He introduced himself very cordially and he talked to me through life-saving steps to make sure that person was okay while EMS came to save them.
That sounds like my husband.
Richard Dark's a very good person. I wish you would learn from him.
That's messed up.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying opposites attract. And I'm a firm believer in that if you find somebody who is exactly like you, I actually believe that is a just recipe for disaster.
If Mr. Dark is polar north of humanity, the shining northern star, it's pretty obvious that you're the south magnetic here. You're a bottom. Magnetically, spiritually, even though you're an atheist. It's what's happening. And there's nothing you can do to stop it because it's your nature. It's your nature.
No. That's fucked up. You should not be saying that.
It's your nature. You know it. You know what's going on here.
Have you ever considered
your whole life?
Have you ever considered that some of the things I do for the benefit of everybody in pushing for case law and precedent to be set?
You know that's not the right way to do that. You're asking the judge to litigate from the bench. Go to the PD liaison and request for something to be written into law. There's the only thing that actually creates precedent from any sort of bench trial, appeal, or any sort of actual panel trial that is held as one little itty bitty DOJ document that basically officers of the court and officers of the peace have access to so that we can reference it when it comes to moving forward. When it comes to actually setting precedent, the only way to do that is to ratify it into law. It's why we now have a legislative body. It's why we have an executive branch. It's why we have a judicial branch. We have a fully functioning government. Use it.
Do we have a fully functioning government?
Yes, because you could go to the PD liaison and say, hey,